Hey, everyone. I hope you are joining us for today's Thrive Thursday. We're at a little bit of a different time today. We're going live in the evening instead of in the morning, but I hope you're here. And if you need to catch the replay will be available. Today's Thrive Thursday is going to be another focus on personal wellness. And I'm thrilled to welcome on a good friend of mine, Sara Lantz Kersch. She is a wellness expert who specializes in understanding sugar's effect on the body. Sara works with individuals facing health challenges, especially those with autoimmune concerns, helping them make empowered choices around nutrition and wellness. She is going to share her insights into how sugar affects inflammation and offer strategies to help us manage those holiday temptations that are just around the corner. We just made it past Halloween as well, while still enjoying the season. So let me just make sure real quick that I am streaming where I need to be, and then I'm going to invite Sara on. If you are, say hello, drop below where you are tuning in from. We'd love to say hello. Let's see, that's day 3. Where am I? Was live. I thought I saw myself just a moment ago. Here we are. Okay. And if you have any questions, drop questions down below, because those, we want to make sure we answer your specific questions about sugar, about inflammation, about how that affects autoimmune. Ooh, internet's being a little slow today. There we go. And we are shared. All right. Let's welcome on Sara.
Hi,
Hello,
Rebecca.
Sara. Thanks so much for
Hi,
having me today.
yeah, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, super important topic, especially at this time of year. I think certain times of year we focus, a little bit more on clean eating and detox and that sort of thing. And I think around the holidays, we all have treats and temptations in mind. So I'm excited to hear what you have to share with us. So just can you start by sharing just a little bit about yourself and what led you to focus on this combination, sort of a sugar and inflammation and personal wellness?
Yeah, absolutely. I had struggled with a couple autoimmune conditions for over 20 years, taking high-powered medications, sleeping medications, narcotics,
Wow.
you name it. A lot of things the doctors were throwing at me, and no hope of getting better, just taking medications. I was working in clinical nursing at the time too, so in the allopathic healthcare, believing in what I was hearing.
Right.
And then one day I just woke up sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I thought I have to try. I felt like I had already tried everything else. But there's always, I don't give up. I'm not a quitter. So I'm going to keep going and keep trying. And so I started looking into a more holistic, functional nutrition, functional medicine,
Mhm.
and started working with a lady, and she helped me, guide me the way I guide others now, and teaching me how to eat right, how to target micronutrient deficiencies, especially for the medications that I was taking.
Mhm.
A lot of medications deplete a lot of micronutrients in our body, which kind of explains a lot now, and with my education, that you lost a lot. It's taking from our bodies, and we need to replace that. So as far as it took me 1 year, and I have been in remission for almost 8 years now.
That's
um,
awesome. That's
I
awesome.
feel the effects of the fibromyalgia when I eat sugar. Not as bad because I'm really clean eating, but I can feel it in my body. So sugar has been the hardest for me in my recovery. And
Mhm.
so it's really important for me to continue to teach others, which in turn helps me continue to stay on track. I'm one of those people. I need to help and continue to preach and continue to educate so that
Right.
me myself, can continue to be good. I know the things to do,
Mhm.
but I fall off the wagon just like everybody else.
Yeah. And in teaching, you remind yourself, right? And why you need to stay
Absolutely,
on track. And yeah. And it's
very
encouraging,
powerful.
empowering. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
To
And
help.
I think, go ahead. We were talking earlier about the
Mhm.
effects of it, as far as just like it's the
Yeah.
biggest culprit out there for inflammation, and 8 times more addictive than cocaine.
Wow. That statistic just blows me away. That's So scary because there is that focus on all of those, all of those illegal drugs, of course. But then this is something we have in our kitchens in many different forms. And we don't necessarily think about how much is going into our body in
No, and
all of the different, products that we might have
it's
in our.
in almost everything. When I started, like, learning to read labels,
Mhm,
it's in almost everything. It's like
mhm,
they almost know what they're doing. The food companies understand how, highly palatable it is to us and how it makes us want more. Because I can
mhm,
tell you it takes me
right.
about a week if I have something indulgent to where I'm
Yeah,
fighting the cravings for, a week, and I mindfully know what to do, and it's still so
right.
I try to be really good, and throughout the years, I've gotten better at changing things up, making different alternatives and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah. So tell us about alternatives. What could we, other than that white sugar that sits on our shelf, if we do have a little, need a little bit of something sweet, what are, some alternatives that might not set off the craving or set off the inflammation as much maybe
So,
as white sugar?
yeah,
Is it even
sugar
possible?
sugar, right? So sugar is sugar no matter what form we have it. The
Okay.
white processed sugars,
Mhm,
they are, a little harder on our bodies. So I would say when I make, desserts now, I focus more on, natural, so coconut palm sugar,
mhm,
lower in the glycemic index,
right.
local raw honey is the best, pure
Mhm,
maple syrup, date syrup, because a lot of these things already they're natural, they have some nutrients, and
mhm,
they're less harmful to our body,
mhm,
so, more if, our people that are watching wanted to know, I would, Google paleo. So
mhm,
most paleo, desserts use, the best quality, sweeteners, more of a natural sweetener. I would stay clear away from, uh, all the ones with ose, allulose, sucralose,
okay.
glucose, the artificial sweeteners, they can disrupt your gut microbiome and cause leaky
Mhm,
gut,
mhm,
neurological conditions. So those are things that are no's. Any other sweetener that are like really low on the glycemic index, it would be pure monk fruit,
mhm,
stevia in the raw. But you have to again read labels and do marketing. The marketing is just like, oh, stevia, and you turn it around and it has erythritol, which is also a gut
ooh,
disruptor. And
right.
our gut is our main immune system. So sugar increases inflammation in our whole body system.
Mhm.
And we have to look at sugar. It's not just the little crystals of white stuff, it's carbohydrates,
Ah,
which turn to
we
sugars.
forget
So
about
it's
that. Yep.
breads
Yeah.
and pastas. They're sugars. They are a different type of sugar, but they're sugar. So
That's really
being
sugar.
mindful of that. So for, people that are diabetic, people that are trying to lose weight, and
Mhm,
just, give our body more nutrient dense foods, 90% of the time.
mhm. It's so, interesting and almost overwhelming how interconnected all of that is. So it's yeah, so as you say, it's not just that little bit of white sugar you might be putting in your coffee in the morning. It might be, the pasta you're having at lunch or the,
Yeah.
potatoes that you're adding to dinner. It kinda adds up all during the day.
And
Now, you also have a cooking background, right?
oh, yes. I
Mhm.
was a professional chef for 10 years, and I
Exciting.
gracefully got up
Yeah.
to 365 pounds. That's how great I was. And it
Lots
was
of good food.
I did it, and it was good foo good mostly good quality food and a lot of desserts, but,
Mhm.
yeah, so I changed career, went into nursing, and, and so I do blame my choices, and I understand now after studying, functional medicine that
Mhm.
we are born with our genetic makeup and epigenetics, which is lifestyle choices that we
Okay.
have, turn on and off these genetic SNPs. So
Ah,
we're born with all the cancer cells that
right.
we may have, but it's what we do and how we do it,
Mhm.
stress, holistic health, stress, mindfulness, the whole
The whole
system
thing.
of
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, it's a lot, and I know a lot of people are, unaware of these things because it's not the mainstream or the norm. But I see a lot more people coming to me for help and understanding that things
Mhm.
need to change. I see a lot of insulin resistance, which is, hard for people. It's like right before diabetes. It doesn't quite show up, but you
Right.
have specific
Uh-huh.
symptoms, and it's
Right.
we as Americans, I can't speak for other countries, but I know here we are on a high carbohydrate diet, and we
Yes.
really need to focus on
Yes.
animal meat, high quality,
Mhm.
fats, olive oil, coconut oil, animal lard. They've just unfortunately lied to us a little bit and like, oh, these fats are going to make us fat, these saturated fats. And it's just not true. I was scared to start eating butter by the half a stick a day,
Uh-huh.
and olive oil without measuring and putting it in my, when I was losing weight. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this feels so wrong when I started this, but I trusted the
Right.
person I was with and I was ready to make change and stick to
Mhm.
something for 6 months to see this. Because had I not made that change,
Mhm.
6 months in
Then
commitment, I was so sick. I was like, I'll do anything, like literally anything for 6 months. And I told the lady, I'll give you 6 months. I will commit 6 months. And
right.
I am
And
so
thank
thankful that
goodness.
I made that
Yes.
choice.
I'm thankful you did too, because I mean, it does. And I think the other thing is this is not quick fix. This is
No.
not something that you're going to see immediate results on. You might feel a little bit better, but to see real results, you got to dig in for a good 90 days, a good 6 months,
Yeah.
to really turn things around. And I think
Food is
definitely have to
food
be at
is
that point. Yeah, we're
powerful.
tired of
Like,
being sick and tired.
yeah,
Yep.
insomnia for over 20s, and it just disrupts, all of our
Right.
hormones, our food does, like, all these conditions and that's the hardest part for me right now is, like, wanting to help people that aren't ready and to just let that go and then know that if I've talked to them and I've had a consult with them and they're not committed, that they know that I'm here for them and that's okay, it's not their
Yeah,
time. I
exactly.
literally was in a group with the practitioner I worked with and,
Mhm,
have mentored under for
mhm.
almost a year before I committed, but I was in there digging in the information that she had. I was looking at it, and I don't know, I'm one of those personalities where I'm like,
Yeah, there's
I
some
need
green
to
in there. You gotta do your research.
maybe with a tad of yellow." So it and I look back and you're like, "Gosh, I wish I why didn't," and it's like, that doesn't matter, I'm where I'm at now, and
Exactly. It kinda has
then
to come together.
I was asked to help her. She asked me to join, a care team with her with my background in, nursing and, the body
Mhm.
systems that I knew. And so I've been, partnering with her now for a year and a half to help others with chronic health conditions. Primarily, I love autoimmune because that's where I'm passionate about.
Right,
Um,
right.
but with autoimmune comes all kinds of stuff, different
List
things.
long.
It's all connected. So I have a lot of clients that have
Mhm.
MTHFR gene mutation. They didn't even know they had it,
Wow.
but that could be with diet causing one of their genetic SNPs to just not,
Mhm.
to not
Right.
methylate, to not uh, process the detox process pretty much. And it's as, simple as changing your diet and like not that simple. I guess it's a simple solution,
Right.
hard, hard
Yeah.
for us because we need to get out of our own way and unlearn a lot of things. But like literally, if you look at it later, you're like, that was pretty simple. We just
Mhm.
have to do the work, like you said, and it's hard to commit, and change is hard. And
Yeah.
I just want others to know if you're out there that like there is hope, and I'm
Mhm.
living proof, and that's why I do what I do
Mhm.
um, for others. Is educate as much as I can and help with the knowledge that I have. And since I partner with someone that has 15 years experience this, I have that
You
support. If I happen to run across you and there's something that I have, that I'm not, it's not my specialty,
Mhm.
then
Sure.
I have that person that can help me, just like when I was in nursing, just reporting to her and getting advice as well for clients. So
And that's I love how you have both the sort of the conventional allopathic background as well as the more now the functional nutrition sort of more natural approach because you can see, I would think, the benefits and also maybe I don't want to say disadvantages, but sort of what could possibly,
Yeah.
trip somebody up from both angles. What is the best way for someone to get in touch with you if they're watching this and they'd love to chat about their own personal conditions and how you might be able to help them? What's their best way to get in
Yeah,
touch with you?
absolutely. So I do offer complimentary health assessments, how that they can, will drop maybe my Facebook
Yes.
and then
Okay.
send me a private message.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and the assessment is I will send an intake form. It's a really
Mhm.
complete intake form because it's important to know everything, pretty much. So it's kind of vulnerable sometimes. And then
Sure.
once I receive that, the process is I go ahead and schedule a little 20-30 minute phone call to fill in any gaps and answer any questions on the intake.
Mhm.
And then I'll write up a comprehensive care plan on dietary,
Mhm.
supplementation,
Mhm.
essential oils, anything that might be pertinent to how you're going to heal the quickest and the fastest. But there's ways that we can do it
Yeah.
financially, or sometimes it's just overwhelming and we could plug away at it slowly,
Right.
And so that is all complimentary. And then
Mhm.
we get on another phone call. So yeah, if
That's
they just hit me up and
fantastic.
send me a
Yeah.
message and we start chatting,
Okay.
I'd love to, that's what I'm passionate about doing, is helping others. And I have
Get to
two groups,
Mhm.
2 Facebook groups. I just started one of my own for autoimmune, and then, my mentor has one with just anything and everything that you wanna know functional,
Wow.
educational group. It's not you're just going in there chatting and stuff, and only care team members are allowed to, like, give advice in there, so it's really closed in so that the
Mhm.
information that you're getting is scientifically based and accurate, and there's no chatter, so it's
So
awesome.
much information out there that it can yeah, when you start looking for things, you just don't know. So it's great to be plugged into authentic, resources that we can trust.
Absolutely.
So we'll drop that link down below too for both of those groups. And so we're coming up on our 15-20 minutes here. What are some practical tips for the holiday season that you could that you
Okay.
could leave us with, Sarah? Because
Practical
we do have
tips.
those sweet tooths, but we don't
Let's
want
see what I did write a few down because I'm like practical to one person and practical
yes.
is to at least start looking at ingredients. And that's what I teach
Mhm.
people. Look at ingredients, make your own because you can control what's in there.
Right.
Definitely
That's
stay away. Everybody, my one tip, the biggest tip is to look at the first ingredient right now is to look for enriched or fortified foods and throw them in the garbage if
uh-oh.
they're enriched or fortified.
Yeah.
And the rest we'll talk about later, but
I know, I'm
that's a
like, "Oh, tell me more." Okay, we're gonna have
that's
to
a really,
schedule you.
really big one. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So
No
just
one
being mindful and not indulging. I used to just go, it was a free for all. It's Halloween, it's a free for all. It's
right,
Thanksgiving, it's a free for all. And then 20 pounds later, after
right.
the end of the holidays, and immunity, since it is autoimmunity, I'm gonna say this before we go.
Mhm,
Sugar affects our immune system. It
mhm.
depletes our immune system. So when you see everybody's getting sick, not only are we getting less sunshine from vitamin D, which is
Right,
immunity as well, we're having all this sugar from October to January,
right.
February,
Oh,
and that's when we
that
see
darkest time of the
everybody
year. Yeah.
getting sick. Sugar
Uh,
is it's amazing. It tastes great. But so moderation, understanding what we're actually doing and
mhm.
not going to free for all. Like I'm not going to have did I have 3 pieces of Halloween candy? Yes, I did. And I moved on and forgiving
They were
yourself
delicious.
for
Yes. Right,
uh,
right. Don't
so
beat
that's
yourself up.
an important
Start
takeaway, just being more mindful if you're unsure and it's overwhelming, just being mindful.
be mindful and pop into your group. You have a event coming up next week to kick off, I think?
Yes, it'll just be an extension of this. This is a little short excerpt. So yeah, next week I have a live at 7 a.m. on the
Okay,
11th, 12th, and 13th, and there'll be replays. It'll be in the group as well. So yeah,
great.
I'm excited
I will
to teach more.
Yes, and I've had so many more questions after just what you shared in this short 15 minutes, so I will definitely be there. Thank you so much, Sarah. I'm so
You're
glad that,
welcome.
you came on today, and we're gonna have you back to talk more about, all of this.
Everything.
Yes, everything. Help us, help all of us.
Absolutely. And, like if I wasn't given that opportunity to learn, then that's our goal, is to teach others
Right.
how to become their own physician and not need
I love
a
it.
physician, because we
Yeah,
don't need medicine. You need to remember that before pharmaceuticals were here, there were plants and herbs.
there
And so we
were.
need to go back to
Absolutely.
that so that we are not riddled with disease and obesity and disease like we are. So that's That's
Yeah.
my TED Talk
Ooh,
on your
gives me
channel.
chills. We're gonna keep talking. Thanks so much, Sarah.
Well,
Have a
thank you, dear. Bye-bye, guys. Have a good night.
great. All right. Well, that was Sarah Kirsch. We are going to drop links down below for you to join her group next week and her 3-day session in a row, talking more about what she just brought us in little snippets here today. And I hope you join me next Thursday for our next personal wellness spotlight. My good friend Sherry Donahue is coming on, and she is all about trail running. She's a runner, but we're not all runners. But so she's going to talk to us about fitness over 40 and how to get started in running if that is something that you think you are interested in. So have a great evening. Read those labels, check things out, check out Sarah's group, and we will see you next week. Thanks so much for joining us.